Welcome to the Environmental Dialogue here at UCTV. I am your host, Dickens Ochero. Today we have really a topic which is very topical, the one that has been running in various minds, which other people suggest that is a mitigation factor or an adaptation factor. You know, since we have been having that discussions running in the communities, even the government have been discussing about all these topics, and we say that now we need to look for experts, people who have been there in the community, they have been doing something that has really impacted the communities around us in the globe here. And we know that that this topic that we are discussing today is something that really the government needs to embrace, not only the government but the community. And the topic is the role of technology in environmental protections. And since last week, I know many people have been missing. I'm in this show since I've been moving. You know, we don't only talk, but we also go in the ground and we do some work. Last week and all of last month, I was there in Karamoja trying to look at some of the adaptation or mitigation measures that we can really embrace in the area, that we need to employ or we lobby for it. If it's about a technology transfer from maybe abroad, from the Western world, at least we need to borrow a lift. Because the places like Karamoja needs things to do with technology, if you're to talk about greening Karamoja. And that's the reason why I have to give really shout out to the organization like Plant International or World Vision, that really, through the leadership of Mr. Charles Ochira, who are trying really to bring up certain things really to engage the community. And with the help of Jennifer, that's the cluster manager, Ronald, Odiman, Xavier, these people really, they were a wonderful team to work with in Karamoja to see which are the ways or various methods we can really use or we can bring on ground in the community to help the people there in Karamoja. And I want to really give credit to World Vision International. Oh, without that, you know that this month is a big hive of activities. Last time I told you that we are celebrating Uganda Water and Environmental Week, and we have seen there are certain kingdoms like Uganda Kingdom also have organized events to do with Uganda Environmental Week, Uganda Water Week, and all these times we have these activities. And I call upon you, my dear viewers, if you know that you want to participate either in Uganda Water and Environmental Week, you can reach out to the Ministry of Water and Environment in Luzira. Register yourself, participate, because if things to do with environment is not the government alone, but it's all of us. That's why the SDG slogan said that leave no one behind. And this time we are not leaving you behind, but we are trying to share with you this idea so that you can have a look and take opportunity. All right then, without waste of time, let me invite my guest. I have today a very wonderful guest, a person who has created impact in this community. He has not only in this community, all over the part of Africa, and that's Uganda. And he's a person who is really a vision bearer of one of the tremendous organizations that we have in Uganda here that are causing change in the communities. They move in urban communities, they move in the rural community, and they're doing a lot of things. And this vision bearer today is with us here at the Environmental Dialogue. And without waste of time, let me invite him to introduce himself. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Victor Kazimiri, and I'm an irrigation engineer by profession, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Akvo International. Akvo International is a Ugandan solar water pumping and irrigation company headquartered in Chireka with the branches across the country. We have offices in Container Village here in Kampala, and we have Mbarara. We have a branch in Mbarara in the western part of Uganda. We have a branch in Guru. We have an office in Arua, that is in the West Nile, for serving the West Nile region and the refugee settlements there. We are a team of engineers, technicians, both plumbers and electricians, with support staff, with a number of support functions in the company, and we are also supported by the world-renowned manufacturers, including those from Europe, from the US, from China, from India, that we represent here in Uganda. So in Uganda, we are pushing irrigation as our core business. Irrigation is our core, supported by solar water pumping. And we are doing this with support of partners like World Vision that he talked about, the government through Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Ministry of Water and Environment, to mention but a few. There are a number of NGOs that we are working with to ensure that we improve the lives of the people of Uganda. So we are dealing with two fundamental elements of human livelihood, and these are water and energy. And we encourage, or we push, or we call upon the population to embrace solar water pumping to replace the fossil fuels that we have always depended on through generators and engine pumps for water pumping, to now look at solar, since it reduces the carbon footprint and the greenhouse gas emissions that are dangerous to our lives.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. You've heard, I told you, my dear viewers, that we have a person who carries a basket of knowledge here in this discussion. And when we are talking about the role of technology in environmental protection, I think that we earlier, prior to our discussion, I was still telling you that you see, like, I've been moving in places like, for instance, my region like Karamoja, and you find that they are constructing dams, but they're leaving out the aspect of irrigation system. And you find that other people are still complaining that, oh, the land is poor, the soil is poor in Karamoja. But we have seen people like Pastor Kayanja borrowing a leaf from your technology and what you are doing, and it's changing the face of Karamoja through agriculture. So my question is really technology important in environmental protection or not?
Yeah, thank you. Technology is very, very important towards environmental protection. And in this regard, talking specifically about irrigation, you will realize in Uganda we have mainly in the past depended on rain-fed agriculture. And this is not the way to go. We must all embrace irrigation technology. We must embrace it with our full attention and be interested in investing in it. Let's invest in irrigation, because with irrigation you cannot go wrong. With irrigation you won't get the yields that are varying, provided you do it right with the right advice from the right professionals like us at Akvo International. You will get your yields right. I tell you that what has happened here in the past. Okay, before looking at that, I want to, in a special way, appreciate the government of Uganda initiatives currently. Yeah. A lot is happening that in a way that now people have woken up. They are valuing irrigation. We have a number of initiatives, support systems in place. We have got the U-Gift project that has been here that is supporting irrigation from World Bank. And we currently have Uganda Energy Credit Capitalization Company supporting productive use of energy, where solar pumps for irrigation. And I'm seeing the uptake is really good now in the country. It's not as compared to the past, where we're looking at irrigation as a waste of money. So we used to so much depend on rain-fed agriculture, and we're not minding about agriculture as a business. Okay. So it now brings in a component of agriculture as a business, whereas we were farming for subsistence use, we are looking at subsistence farming. Now I would like to call upon Ugandans to look at agriculture as a business, because it is a business, and there are countries that are depending on it, and they are doing irrigation purely. They are drier countries here, and they don't have water, but they do by all means to find water and irrigate.
Okay,
Here in Uganda, we have plenty of
Mr.
water.
Victor, in relation, you're spoken of agriculture and in the, especially in the semi-arid regions and also in the rural areas. So the question is now, how can someone, with the technology that I've seen Akvo is trying really to sell, is trying really to encourage, to interest people, to embrace, how can someone down there in the rural really take that opportunity or embrace such technology that that will favor a farmer who was practicing use stock of substances and he wants to go into commercial? Because we have had the president right now is encouraging people, and I think he's one of the ambassadors who is encouraging people in the rural area. Please, let's move away from subsistence to commercial agriculture if we want to reach at that middle income first. So how can someone really in a rural area setting, maybe in let me say that in Kanungu there, in Karamoja there, or is in Lamo or Nwoya there, really say that I need Akvo to help me maybe with this type of technology, then I can go into commercial. Because if you're talking of technology, people see us, if you speak of irrigation, someone already will think of getting over 50 million or 20 million. So how can you really encourage such a person in a rural area to change their mindset and go into irrigation to tap that opportunity?
We have solutions that match every farm size. We have irrigation solutions ranging, let's say, be specific in amounts of Uganda shillings. We have irrigation solutions ranging from even 1 million Uganda shillings, going up to 3 million Uganda shillings, through to 5 million shillings, to 10 and above, depending on your unique requirement of your site. So we advise farmers in this regard to contact Akvo International. We are always here to advise and support. And we have also, I have not told you about the partnerships we have with entities and organizations that are enabling and supporting agriculture, enabling farmers to really love agriculture and pick more interest in it. So we are currently running a project supported by the Danida Green Business Partnerships from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark, where we are a consortium of 4 partners, one being Akvo International. We have Grundfos from Denmark, and we have East African Grain Council here. Then we have access to innovation. So our role in that project, we won a grant of 7.5 million Denmark crowns, and we are supposed to utilize that grant to reach out to the population, reach out to the farmers, and train them and show them the benefits of irrigation towards improving agriculture for commercial production. And with that project, we are really doing a lot. We are already moving and empowering these farmers and giving them this knowledge. And we have already installed a number of solar-powered irrigation systems for them. So what we have done, we have selected some demonstration farmers. So we have their farms as our demonstration farms, where we have installed already these solar water pumps and our irrigation systems. And we are using them to teach the communities around. We are using them to invite different farmer groups and take them to those farms to see what is really happening and how these systems are working and how they improve the yields. So by farmers being able to see, and they see what has happened, the impact that has happened in the time the irrigation system came in place, then they are able to give it value and also pick interest in mobilizing some resources, some funds to invest in the systems for their own farms. Yes, and in addition, I have just talked about one, but we have many other initiatives on ground. We are also working, we have now a partnership. We have grant agreements signed already with the Uganda Energy Credit Capitalization Company, that is UECCC, under Ministry of Energy. And with a fund from World Bank. This is all for supporting farmers to uptake irrigation technologies for their farms. And it's working.
Is it only like targeting the rural farmers or also the urban farmers?
Good. You know, you asked about the rural farmers. That's now why I'm talking about this specific one to answer on the rural setup.
Right.
This is very good in a way of, it's not for supporting big systems. It's not for supporting those who have capacity to support themselves. It's for that low-end farmer, for the lowest farmer, because we have, that's now for the kits I talked about, the irrigation kits of between 1 million and about to 8 million Uganda shillings. Where you'll find there is a subsidy amount where UCTV for productive use of energy where solar pumping for irrigation falls, they contribute up to 5 million Uganda shillings. And with this subsidy, we are able to attract customers because, you know, the funding is always a problem. So where, let's say you have a quotation and your irrigation kit or system is going to cost you about 8.3 million Uganda shillings, you find that now you have a subsidy through Akvo International of 5 million Uganda shillings. So you'll be only contributing the 3.3 million Uganda shillings. So in that regard, all the rural farmers are supported to acquire these irrigation systems. It doesn't matter the size. If your irrigation kit is for, let's say, 5 million shillings, then they will still contribute for you 60% through Akvo International. We have another wing that, of course, is not for agriculture, but I appreciate that wing as well under UCTV, where they are also supporting off-grid solar for these solar home systems. Because as much as we want to improve the lives of people through food production, for people to have food to eat, to eliminate hunger, and also to be well by selling some of the produce, we would also want people to have electricity, clean electricity, solar energy. So UCTV also supports that component where we are equipping now all homes in rural areas with solar home systems. These are solar lighting kits.
All right, Mr. Victor, thank you for that elaboration. I want us first to go for a short commercial break. Then we shall be back with more exploration that Mr. Victor is taking us through the use of technology in environmental protection. I just want to urge you, my dear viewers, that stay tuned, don't touch your dial. We shall be back in a few minutes. Thank you very much.
UCTV, good news for all.
Tiene que soñar.
Hello and welcome to UCTV. Welcome to Connect with Mary.
You're the Alpha and the Omega.
Uganda Catholic Television. I'm Sunday Gloria Watch with UCTV News.
We need people to pay for content.
Bernardo Silva, Matheus Nunes, and Haaland!
Swings it across to Christie.
UCTV, good news for all.
I am Father Sando Augustine Masbreka, bring you inspiration quotes on this UCTV, and don't miss good news for all. Thank you.
Koleza Farm with Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan of up to 50 million shillings for a solar-powered irrigation system on your farm. Enjoy a grace period tailored to your cash flows and loan offer amounts from 100,000 up to 50 million Uganda shillings with flexible loan periods up to 60 months. Apply for a Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan through our branches, agents, and enjoy a fixed interest rate of just 1.7% per month. Koleza Farm with Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan today and watch your farming dreams come to life. Visit any of our nearest branch today or call our toll-free line 0800 200 555 or 0800 335 344.
Centenary Bank.
Centenary Bank is a member of the Center Group regulated by Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits of up to 10 million shillings are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Terms and conditions apply.
Support the Uganda Catholic Television with MTN Momo. Step 1. Dial star 165*3 hash. Step 2. Enter merchant code 180572. Step 3. Enter any amount from 500 Uganda shillings. Step 4. Pay using MTN mobile money. Step 5. Enter PIN code and send. Step 6. You will receive a confirmation text for supporting the Uganda Catholic Television.
Ronaldo down in the area, penalty!
Don't miss the sports link on UCTV. Catch us every Monday to Friday from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. as we take you into the thrilling world of sports in football.
And Messi! Thuram! Mbappe!
Saka shoot, deflects in, Arsenal have the lead!
Netball,
Nasanga taking the shot, and look at that exceptional steal.
motorsports, boxing, swimming, and much more. UCTV Sports Link with Samgenza Mustafa. Only on UCTV. Good news for all.
UCTV. Good news for all.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. As I told you earlier, we are here to explore, to digest every information and critical issues that are happening within the country. You know, we are here as UCTV to bring information, educative information to the people down there in the community so that they get to know what's happening around the world, what's happening in Uganda, what's the government planning, and also the things or activities which are other people who are knowledgeable, who are instrumental, they are trying to explore also within our communities. And you know, with us, you can never go wrong. You have always to tap into knowledge opportunity here at UCTV with Environmental Dialogue. All right, then, we are still handling something, discussing something that Mr. Victor was taking us through. As we told you that we are still in that capacity, you see that people in the community embrace technology. And that's the reason why we say that what's really the role of technology in environmental protections? Is it important? Is it valuable? Is it something that we can sell to someone who is down there in the village, who has not gone to school, has not seen even what's called a blackboard? Is it something that really the government can maybe localize it and put in a simple terms? And we have here Mr. Victor of Akvo, the CEO, is trying really to delve into it and telling us what they have been doing and what they are still trying. But you know, with every initiative there is always challenges. And now my questions goes to him today, that Mr. Victor, you've told us all this that you have been doing, you've been carrying out in different communities. So don't you find like resistance, especially with other communities, that you know with technology is something that people don't believe in? Other people still have that mindset that things maybe are, even before maybe taking only that component of that technology, someone already has that bias and saying that, no, I cannot afford, without even, before even listening to you. So what are the challenges that you're finding as Akvo, like when you're carrying out your activities or you're trying really to interest the local community with this technology, especially with the irrigation measures that you have been really installing in different places?
We have a number of challenges we face in the implementation of these irrigation systems in delivery to the farmers and beneficiaries out there. The major challenge we face, I'll start with one major one that is now from ourselves, from the local population, from the people, which is ignorance. We have a challenge of ignorance from the population. When you get down that side in the rural areas, you really receive a lot of resistance towards the uptake of these irrigation systems. And there is a lot required to really get people up to accept them. Then we have a challenge of the government policy. The government policy impacts the irrigation sector in a number of ways, starting from the decisions about the different projects in the country and going up to the taxes. But when I talk about the taxes side, we have been favored as irrigation companies, where we are not paying tax on the importation of sprinklers and the drip lines for irrigation, even their accessories. The challenge comes in when you are importing these other products and they are also forming part of an irrigation system or a water supply system for irrigation, and then for them they are being taxed. So with that tax, it increases the landing cost for the equipment, and we end up transferring it to the farmers, and it becomes a challenge to raise the funds from the farmer side. So on the part of ignorance, as I told you about the project already that we are having for supporting farmers, we have a way forward for that. We are equipped to train farmers across the country, across Uganda. And we are already doing that. As I told you, we have set up demonstration farms in different parts of the country, including central Uganda here. We have set up in western Uganda. We have set up in the east, and we are yet to set up in the north for training purposes. So with that, we are doing our best to ensure that we give farmers knowledge and show them what it means to irrigate. We are trying to show them what it means to shift from rain-fed agriculture to irrigated agriculture. We want to show people, here in Uganda we are fond of complaining about the sun, but on the other hand, you will find that their country is suffering because of coldness, and they are praying for the sun, but they never get it. And here we have abundance of sunlight at all times. So I tell you about irrigation with solar pumping, how the sun is beneficial. We want this sun, because with more sun, for us we look at more sun as a benefit to solar, because without the sun, your solar pump will not work. Yeah. Because you pump using the energy from the sun. Yes. So with more sun, when you have more sun, you have more power generated by your solar panels and transferred to the water pump. And that means more sun, more power. And more power generated, the more water will be pumped. So more sun means more power, and more power means more water pumped to the crops. So let's not talk more about the sun affecting us. Instead, let's utilize it to do solar water pumping for our irrigation systems. A solar pump can power any irrigation system, whether drip or sprinkler, it doesn't matter. You can power it directly to your crops, and you will have your yields improved.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Victor, there is one, you have talked of one of the challenge is ignorance. And, you know, for us, the environmental activists or climate activists, sometimes we go down into the ground and we look at certain things, issues which are aspiring or maybe happening in the community. And we have seen that as the government, when you move to every district, there is that Department of Agriculture and Production. And you find that this department, they complain always of the budget. And we have organizations like yours in place with all these technologies. And you find that these are the same people who are complaining of the budget and not reaching out on the grassroots and telling people what to do. So now, what should really the government do, especially bring you people on board? Because we have seen organizations like Nexus Green always everywhere. Is it really that they're the one, maybe the government is saying that these are the people who are doing this and this, especially transferring this type of technology, or maybe is something which is to do with policy, which is not favoring certain organizations like Akvo?
Okay, starting from that very example of Nexus Green. Nexus Green is here implementing an irrigation project across the country. There is a fund they are utilizing from UKEF, and that's UK Export Finance.
Yeah.
And they are to do irrigation systems across the country. So they have a contract with Ministry of Water and Environment that is enabling them access all the farmers across the country who are interested in these systems. But phase 1 is gone, though there is phase 2 also going to benefit farmers across the country, where in this phase 2 farmers will be contributing, majorly it will be focusing on coffee farmers, and the farmer will be contributing 30%.
The farmers
quotation value, yes. And
now, which type of farmers are those? Are they urban farmers or the rural farmers?
No, these are coffee farmers.
Coffee farmers,
of more than 10 acres. Let's say between 10 and 50 acres of coffee.
It means certain regions will be left out. Because like you find that if you're talking of coffee, we always, one thing that we look at is the central region, because when you're talking of coffee, it's the central region which has embraced really coffee growing a lot. But now if you're talking of coffee, especially to a person who is a nomad in Karamoja, will not make sense to him. So that's why the reason why I'm bringing that. Is it a policy which is not favoring certain companies like Akvo? Because now if the government is not looking at, let me say that, a scale of a balance. Like for instance, we say that, okay, if Nexus Green is going to look at coffee, then people, maybe, okay, coffee is in central region. Let Nexus Green handle central region. Then if you're talking of maybe, let's say that like agriculture or turning the nomads mindset into agriculture. Let's bring in a company like Akvo to handle irrigations and train with the farmers there so that at least we have this balance, and also what I say that easy access to service area, whereby you find all these companies, organizations are partnering with the local government. Since the local government are crying loud that what they don't have a budget for this and this, so that also those people in the local government under the production, under the Department of Agriculture and Production, they have what to do rather than crying, we don't have a budget, we don't have this and this. So how can we, is it the issue like of policy that maybe we should work on it, or maybe there are other things that are preventing certain those operations? Is it policy?
Yes, it is policy. It's government policy. As I mentioned, okay, I talked of two major challenges. One being the ignorance side, which is from the population. But this second one, obviously, now like the example you are giving, is government policy.
Okay.
Yes, this is government policy, because as I have told you, this is a loan to the government of Uganda that is supporting the implementation of the project.
Okay.
And you can see in another way also, it's affecting the low-end farmers, the smallholder farmers. Because when you say starting from 10 acres, there are so many farmers also even in the regions with coffee who have less than 10 acres of coffee. So all those are also affected. But as I told you, there has been a first phase, and the first phase has not been specific on the crop. Yes, but this second phase is majorly for coffee and for farmers between 10 and 50 acres, as I have told you. But of course, this is government policy, as you can see. Who decides that? It's the government. So it's the government policy here. But on the other hand, as I told you before, there are other ways the government has supported, like through the micro-scale irrigation project under the UGIFT. There has been a project also of ACDP, the Agricultural Cluster Development Project. It closed, but it was supporting coffee farmers, and there was know what about the area to be irrigated, whether 2 acres or 5, it was okay. Yeah, though they had a couple of 40 million Uganda shillings, amounting to 75% contribution, the same as you gift from the government side under Ministry of Agriculture. So the point in that case is government policy. As I said earlier, okay, I gave you only 2, but obviously there are other challenges. Including even the limited water sources. Yes, yes. So the way forward on that would be maybe government to come in and support communities with boreholes. Yeah, because always there is water underground. You will find there are no surface water sources, no rivers in the place, no reservoirs, no dams, but always when you survey well, you can't fail to get where to locate a borehole and transfer water to the communities. So as a way forward, if government can come in and support, that will be great to the communities where they can have centralized water systems in all communities where people can tap and share. And once you have a water source, it becomes easy to irrigate because these budgets are smaller always for smallholder farmers across the country. But if you leave it all to the farmer, you will find a farmer of, let's say, 2 acres. A farmer wanted to do 2 acres of coffee drip irrigation, who was supposed to spend about 10 million Uganda shillings, will now be supposed to pay, if you are supposed to pay 10 million Uganda shillings, if you are to establish a water source, which is a borehole, first of all, you will find that in that borehole you are going to spend like 20, 25 million to have it in place. And then after drilling it, you still need to equip it with a pump, let's say solar pumping system, and that's also money, maybe 20 million Uganda shillings. Then plus your irrigation system now, the drip lines and the pipe network in the coffee plantation. And you can see where the budget is going. But if the borehole, someone is assisted with a borehole in place, and maybe a number of farmers can connect to it, then it becomes easy for the farmers to just start from the irrigation system.
Because, like, why I've asked that, because there is a scenario last month, I moved in one of the schools in upcountry, and that there was one of the companies, I don't want to mention their name, went there to the school, and the school had a borehole. And for them, they first interest the school in the technology aspect. Then the school like embraced the technology, but now, and even they set up a greenhouse in the school. But now, what with the technology, which they use, it limited even the school from using water. There was again another problem that cropped out, which was water scarcity, where that the water that the school at least was benefiting out of, it tend to be only looking at only now the greenhouse, all the plants that were around the school. Until the school said that now we cannot go into this technology if it's cropping up another issue. What the school had to do, that the teacher told me that what he had to do was, first of all, destroy the technology and say that no, we need to go back to our local setting because now this technology is not helping us. Then I said now, then I asked the teacher, he said that what was the problem that for you are seeing that really can? He said that yes, the technology was good, but if that company would have set up their own borehole to make their technology to work rather than coming to our old borehole to use it. That's why for us now we cannot go into these things of draining the school or embracing this technology because of what certain things that the company failed to put in place. So now with that, how can organizations or schools, especially secondary schools, because I know with secondary schools they have a lot of land, especially when you move in upcountry. Organization like INAD, Impact Nexus for Actions, a youth-based organization in area, how can they work with Akvo, especially that you have all this knowledge and there are young people there, they are interested into this aspect of technology, transferring or becoming like ambassadors to preach it to the local. How can they work with Akvo or really partner with Akvo?
Okay, I'll start from the point. I want to react to your part of someone extending a borehole for another application without assessing whether it's giving enough water to cover both at a go. So with irrigation, you require water. All you require is water. So if you find already there has been a borehole in use for some other applications and you want to add your irrigation system, so it's a must to first assess and know the yield of that borehole. You must know how much water it gives per hour, or you push it to per day and see how much you get. Then look at the daily water requirement for the institution, in that case for that school, and see if that borehole serves it and you still have extra for your irrigation requirement. And of course, also from your irrigation side, you must have done your design to know your daily water requirement, and then you match it with the other excess to see if it's enough. After doing those calculations and you have done your assessment, then you are able to tell that, yes, this borehole will provide enough water for us to irrigate and take care of other requirements of the institution. Unless you have done that, then you are not supposed to just come and tap and say, we want to irrigate using this borehole.
Okay.
Yeah, so as Akvo International, we provide all that technical advice and for free.
Okay.
Because we want people to support us by buying the equipment in the long run. So we are not working as consultants.
Okay.
Yes, some other companies provide that knowledge that we provide at the cost.
Yeah.
But for us, we do provide it for free because it's support to the equipment we are selling. And in another way, it's also, we believe in selling something when one has understood it. Okay. We have a challenge that I didn't tell you about, where people are misled in this community.
Oh, yeah.
In Uganda, people are misled. People think everything pouring water is irrigating. So people have gone ahead to even buy these water guns for washing cars. You know, the guns used at washing bays. Yes, and they are using them that they are irrigating. There are other nozzles, all kinds of nozzles you see in Uganda that farmers are using with horses holding in hands that they are irrigating. That is wrong, because irrigation must be done professionally if you are to achieve the right yields. Otherwise, if you just do that, it's mere watering. Yes, and that is not through a designed irrigation system. Yeah, on the other hand, the part you asked of how organizations can work with us, I've already told you we are open. All our offices across the country are open to receive these inquiries, and they are already receiving them, and they have received them. We have a number of partnerships. Some of them I have not told you here. But we are working with a number of organizations to extend services to the farmers across Uganda. We are doing these trainings consistently. We are working with partners like Ministry of Water, even through this week and next week. We are working them through the Water Week to ensure that people get knowledge about the water resources, about the technology systems we have in place to improve agriculture and support the environment, maintain the environment in a clean state. So we are going to be with the Ministry of Water at the different facilities in Uganda, starting this week on Thursday.
Okay.
And this is in a way of exhibiting also. Wherever we go with our equipment. We go with the drip lines for irrigation, sprinklers, and all the irrigation fittings, plus the water pumps as well, and all kinds of solar equipment supporting irrigation under solar water pumping. So we shall be with the Ministry of Water at the center in Ruzira, then also with the facilities, supporting them, because they are the major government body managing our water in the country, and they work with partners like us who do this water transfer, who do the real irrigation. So that's why we partner with them. They invite us, we go and exhibit at their events to really extend the knowledge to the participants.
Okay.
Yes.
All right then, Mr. Victor. Thank you for that. My last questions, or what is your remark to the government or to the community out there in regards to the use of technology in environmental protections, in relation maybe to anything to do with policy or mindset change or behavioral management? Any maybe remark or any message that you want to push out to the viewers there?
Yes, to the viewers and to the government at large, because the viewers are the people who are the government. They are the people who are electing the MPs, our MPs in Parliament, the legislators. So to everyone, I want to recommend and appreciate what you are doing towards improving agriculture in our country using clean practices, climate smart agriculture. And I would like to call upon the government to keep supportive. There are a number of initiatives the government is already supporting towards climate smart agriculture. A number of partnerships are in place. And it's my call to the government to keep doing the same until they really lift the population up. As I have told you, we still have a big challenge of ignorance down there in the farmers. There are farmers who even receive free systems, like we are sent to give them free systems, let's say from NGOs, but they reject them. So there is still a lot to do. So as much as the government is supporting, they have still not listened. I have cases where we have been given contracts to execute, and the contracts have expired when we are still in stories of people rejecting the systems in their communities. So I call upon the government to actually first sensitize people a lot, even before giving out those contracts, so that people accept the system, accept before the contractor mobilizes, before the contractor gets to site to start the works.
Okay.
Yes.
All right then. Thank you, my dear viewers. We have come to the neck of our program. You know, every sweet things always come to the last end. They say that whenever the food is sweet, you know, it will not really be enough for the consumer. I know that this was a sweet conversation out there and you've been enjoying it. We are still going to have Mr. Victor. Oftenly, we will contact him and bring him here in the studio and have more discussion in regards to technology and also how they have been supporting especially the rural farmers, the urban farmers, so that you know the opportunities that you can have. We are here always to make sure that anyone who out there who still are full of knowledge, are still pregnant with knowledge, they will come always and let it out, explore it out, so that at least it be a benefit in our country. I'm here always to make sure that things work out. That's why we want to give credit to the management of UCTV, to the production team who are behind the set. Thank you very much for having this time, to having Mr. Victor here, and always working towards that information reach out there to the communities. And we are always here every Wednesday from 8 to 9 live here at UCTV. And if you miss out the conversation, we have the YouTube link that you can go there. You type UCTV Environmental Dialogue and it will bring for you information. Go there, watch the information, like it, share the content, and also comment. In case of anything you want us to come up with, or you have any suggestion, you can bring upon us. And those ones who want to advertise with us, you can contact either me, Dickens Ochero, or maybe Lam, my producer. They are available always to help you. We are here to work with you, to work with the community, to share knowledge, and we see that we move together. I know that we have started this with you, and we know that we shall always push this agenda until we get done with everything that we see that Uganda is now a middle income status. Thank you very much. See you next time, next Wednesday, here still at UCTV, enjoying Environmental Dialogue. Bye-bye.
UCTV, good news for all.